Hey everyone, it's Keith. Welcome back to Throwback Movie Mondays, a series that I'm in the midst of hating myself for committing to. This week, from 1984, we are looking at Supergirl. Supergirl is directed by Jeanette Swark. Why does that name sound familiar? Shit. It stars Helen Slater and Faye Dunaway. After the film's MacGuffin, the Omega Hedron, is jettisoned into space by accident, Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin, leaves Argo City to recover it, because without it,
this city can't survive more than a few days.
Our lights will grow dim and the very air we breathe so thin.
She makes her way to Earth, where the Omega Hedron has already fallen into the hands of aspiring witch Selena. Upon landing on Earth, Supergirl sees a rock, and then a flower, which she uses her time-lapse vision on. Supergirl, can we focus here? Remember?
Without it, this city can't survive more than a few days.
Our lights will grow dim and the very air we breathe so thin.
Then Supergirl takes flight, and it's actually pretty well done. It's miles ahead of any flying scene in Superman 3, except for this shot, where Supergirl and these horses are on different planes of existence. At this point, which granted is less than 20 minutes into the film, I don't hate it. That sounded like more of a compliment in my head, and then when I said it, it clearly wasn't. Like, if you made dinner for someone you had a crush on, and while eating it they said, "I don't hate it," it'd break your heart. But anyway, yeah, I don't at this point. And then the movie just takes a lunch break or something. The plot of the film stops for more than half an hour while Supergirl decides to go to college. Hey, Supergirl, do you remember the beginning of the movie?
Without it, this city can't survive more than a few days.
Our lights will grow dim and the very air we breathe so thin.
I mean, can someone back me up here?
Focus!
Thank you, Dwayne. Things only start to get back on track when the witch Selena uses the Omega Hedron to make a love potion. Yes, really. To use on the same guy Supergirl had a crush on. Yes, really. He basically becomes a secondary MacGuffin at this point. And then Selena uses an excavator to kidnap him, and Supergirl intervenes. Weren't you in Die Hard? Not for 4 more years. Look, I said it got back on track. I didn't say it got good. This is where the film starts to feel cheap, by the way. A word I keep using in relation to this series, I know, but it's appropriate. Not only is this excavator scene bad, but soon after, Supergirl fights an invisible monster. In a movie. It's a visual medium, and they thought an invisible monster was a good idea. Selena then sends Supergirl to the Phantom Zone for about 15 minutes before a final battle that is honestly not that bad, all things considered. And then Supergirl flies off into the sunset. Thank God it's over. That they made this movie 2 hours long is insulting. Easily 45 minutes could have been cut out. Before I wrap things up, I do have to talk about a certain scene. It's sandwiched between where I didn't hate the movie and where I started to. Supergirl is just bombing around aimlessly, and she lands in some random-ass American town. There's no one else around, and then these 2 guys show up and immediately attempt to rape her. Nothing happens. She deals with them very easily because she's Supergirl. But wow, literally her first experience in America is a rape attempt. That's definitely saying something about our society, and also definitely is doing so unintentionally. Could it possibly surprise you that a guy wrote this movie? That's got to be the least shocking thing you'll hear all week. Anyway, Supergirl's legacy is one of laughable awfulness. It, along with its contemporary Superman films, it came out between 3 and 4, are the low point of the genre to this day. Especially bad is that it likely helped set back female-led superhero films for, well, let's see. No. Keep going. There we go. So, more than 30 years. That is this film's legacy. Supergirl gets a 2 out of 10. At least we eventually got a pretty good Supergirl TV show. I'm going to go catch up on that. You guys have a good week. Later.
I think I'll be going, if you'll excuse me.